Hi, this is Debbie Sui, and this is my FBA and SLP takeaway video for Brandman University's EDUU675, assessing students with ASD for the autism program. My speech and language pathologist is the primary one at my school. We do have another one that works 80-20, 80% at our school and 20% at the school that has the regional autism program. And my speech and language pathologist has been with the district for more than 10 years. She is on our PBIS team, which is positive behavior. She collaborates with me to ensure that my students are receiving their daily support on the targeted areas that she is helping the students on. She only sees them once, twice, maybe 3 times if we have a push-in in my room while her students are in the classroom. A lot of my kids mainstream, so she may catch them in the push-ins where she's doing whole group some days of the week, but other times she's doing it either individual or in group sessions in her room. We meet when needed if we have to discuss different therapies for my students. If we have the annuals or triennial IEPs coming up, we go through and we discuss what she is seeing when she is doing her assessments for them, and then I, on the flip side, I do the same thing when I'm doing my assessments for them. If I see something that she didn't see, we discuss that, and then we talk about targeted areas that we need to both work on. For the functional behavioral assessment, I have a district behavior specialist, and she's the primary one for my school. She's been with the district for more than 15 years, and she's had her BCBA for close to 20 years. She is one of 2 currently with the district. We will be adding a 3rd BCBA starting next year in January for my school. So the new one will be at my school, but she will have the support of my current BCBA. We have 15 schools in our school district. They're all elementary schools. My current BCBA, she is at 7 of our school sites. We do have a regional autism program with our school district within our valley. So we have 4 other school districts in our valley that are only elementary. And the regional autism program brings all of those students in to our district, to our, I believe it's now 2 sites that actually have the regional autism program. But all of those kids, they are bused into to our schools. We have a neighboring school district that deals with emotionally disturbed students, and those students are bused over to the other school district's site. We have another school district that deals with the visual and hearing impaired. If they are not able to be in, say, an SDC1 program, which is mine, which is mild to moderate, then they would be bused over to the other school district, the neighboring school district. for them to be able to receive their services. I do have a student in my classroom who is hearing impaired, and they have an itinerant DHH teacher, the deaf and hard of hearing teacher, who actually comes to my classroom once every week or two, just to double check and make sure that he's doing all right. So we have, a collaborative districts within our valley that we all work on different areas. But getting back to the BCBA, like I said, she is currently at 7 of our 15 schools. We have the new BCBA starting in January, so they will be, it'll be closer to 5 per BCBA, 5 schools per BCBA. And then the regional autism program might get extra support by those BCBAs. They might overlap it at 1 or 2 of the schools. My BCBA, she meets with me and my aides to ensure that the students are receiving the support required by their individual behavior plans. And if there's any, changes that need to happen, we go through and we talk about, other ways that we can support the student that might not necessarily be the prescribed way. There might be something that comes up that kind of changes the behavior plan, and then we'll go ahead, if needed, then we will hold an IEP in order to get those changes put on. But if it's something that's within the realm of being able to be changed right away, then we'll go ahead and we'll do that. And we also do the same with speech. If there's a different support that needs to happen, if it does not need an amendment to the IEP, we'll go ahead and we'll work on changing that up. But pretty much it's, we're really good at speaking with each other, and if there's, a need to change something around, then we go ahead and we discuss it, and then we'll look at the feasibility of doing that. Let's see here. And my takeaways, the biggest takeaways from the SLP interview and conducting the FBA, I'm not new to working with the speech language pathologist or the behavior specialist, and I realize they are a very important part of special education and education in general. And I realize that they are knowledgeable in many more areas than what their actual job descriptions are. They see different things, and they offer their assistance, their ideas, their thoughts on something else that needs to be, that might have been overlooked or whatever. We're very good at communicating and stuff back and forth with each other, and it's just a nice collaboration that we have. How will you apply what you've learned in the future in your work with individuals on the spectrum? I believe that learning is something that you do all the time, and that you need to use what you've learned so you don't lose it. So the stuff that I have learned is a great foundation for me, or not necessarily a foundation. It's to fill in some of the foundational knowledge that I have learned over the years. But I also realize that my district has its own way of implementing things, and I need to go with the way that they, their chain of doing things, or however, the typical way of something being prescribed. But if I do feel that I need to change, how something, the district, the way that the district likes to do something, I will definitely 100% meet with whoever is involved with that service. Like, I could meet with my speech language pathologist, I could meet with the behaviorist, the OT, the physical therapist, anybody. I don't have a problem with that, to see whether or not, if I want to try something new or different or whatever, see if it's reasonable, if it's feasible, if it's something that that I can actually do within the classroom. I think that our BCBAs have a really great handle on our district, because we have several of our, a lot of the students have been with us for such a long time that we have that history with them, that we have know where the students have been, and we know how they're, how much they have progressed, or in some cases regressed, that we're able to use a lot of the district can't think of the word, just the things that the district that they would like for us to use for, say, behavioral issues. Or one big thing is we do not have any kind of punishment whatsoever within our district, and our BCBAs, they've created a great resource for us to go to. So if we're looking for the function of a behavior, we can go on the district's, they call it a Padlet, and we can go through like the strategies by the 4 behavior functions, and we can, if it's an escape maintained behavior, we've got little boxes that we can check off. And if, say if it's to avoid the task, what would the replacement behavior be? So it could be a break, it could be an alternate task, it could be to do the task differently, to order the task differently. There's just a wealth of information that our district behaviorists have actually come up with to better able us to work with the behaviors that we see within our classroom from the students who are on the spectrum, as well as students who are not on the spectrum. So I think that for me, for the how will I apply what I've learned, it's just learning is a lifelong experience, and some things that you learn one way will work for one student, but they might need to be changed up for another student. So I think that it being rigid in how you're planning on, implementing something might not necessarily be the right thing. You might need to change up your thinking in order to change up the students' thinking. Thank you for listening to my video.